Good morning. It's the 15th of December 2025, halfway through December, in the last 2 weeks of 2025. What an amazing year it's been. And yesterday was a tragic day in Bondi Beach, Australia. I've been there myself, I know it well. And 15 people lost their lives. Another 42 are still in hospital. A gunman. Very interesting this. The gunman was announced by Israel within half an hour of it happening as being an Islamic terrorist. Allegedly. The moment I heard that, the questions started to come as to how would they know? How would Israel know? I know it was Hanukkah. I know it's a Jewish celebration. I'm fully aware of that. But how would they know it was Islamic terrorists, or what they call Islamic terrorists, who did this, who committed this heinous crime of killing people, whoever they are? Well, the reason that Israel knows, first of all, Israel created ISIS, allegedly. They created Al-Qaeda. They created Hamas. They created the Houthis. They created Levante, which is ISIL. They created Hezbollah. They created Boko Haram. They created Al-Shabaab. That's how they know, because they created these terror organizations. Allegedly, they're in charge of them. And then I started to dig, and dig I did. This is going to be breaking news that will blow your mind. Who created Islam? It's amazing when you go down a rabbit hole how silent the tea becomes. There's a rabbi at the bottom of everyone, and yes, you're right. The Jews created Islam. Allegedly, they created Islam to attack the Christians. Allegedly, and to attack themselves, to get sympathy. These people are truly evil. These people are satanic. When you realize that, then everything else that you see around the world makes sense. Up until now, the Jews have been able to control mainstream media. So they can control the narrative. They can stop you finding out this stuff. But obviously nowadays, with platforms like our own and many others, we can get the truth out to you, whether they like it or not. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Hello, everybody. Well, straight into my first story. Western officials are raising concerns over secret meetings between Ukrainian negotiators and the FBI. Ukraine's lead negotiator, Rustem Umerov, has reportedly held multiple closed-door talks in Washington with FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino. Sources say the secrecy has alarmed allies, with speculation the meeting relates to pressure on Kiev to accept President Trump's peace proposal. Well, Charlie, I think we're seeing Trump definitely sending his people in now, aren't we?
We are, but the moment they talk about secret meetings, you know that this has been dripped out there for a purpose. Because if there were secret meetings, we wouldn't know anything about it. But if by the nature that we know about it, they're not very secret, are they? Now, I've had secret meetings that nobody knows about, apart from me and that person in there. And the whole word secret means that nobody knows. If somebody knows that there's a meeting going on, it's done on purpose to trigger, to provoke. And this is what's going on at the moment. There's distraction everywhere. But I can assure you, if I wanted a secret meeting, nobody would know about it.
Next up, let's talk stats. New estimates from 2023 show wide differences in how countries police online speech. The United Kingdom leads with over 12,000 arrests linked to online comments, far more than any country. Second, that is Belarus, follows with about 6,200, Germany 3,500, and China with roughly 1,500, Turkey 500, Russia 400, and the lowest is, drumroll, United States with 50. These figures, compiled from multiple sources, highlight a growing global trend. In simple terms, people are being arrested for what they post online, and some countries, especially the UK, do this far more than others.
Well, the worst part about that is the fact that there are real criminals that are being set free. There are people out there that are raping people and murdering people that are walking free. We're seeing that in the UK. And there are people going to prison for a tweet or for a retweet. I mean, this shows how upside down the world is. But having said that, this is all part of the pantomime. And if you're living in the movie that's playing out right now, it'll feel incredibly real. But people have to see it to believe it. The sad thing for me is that people do see it, they do believe it, but they still do nothing about it. And there are many apathetic people out there who just don't react when things like this happen, but thank God for those people who do. Paul.
My next story, 3 Americans have been killed in Syria in an ambush by an Islamic State gunman, according to the US military. US Central Command says 2 soldiers and a civilian interpreter were killed near Palmyra while on a joint patrol with Syrian forces. 3 other US service members were injured and the attacker was shot dead at the scene. President Trump described it as an ISIS attack and warned of a serious retaliation as the incident remains under investigation.
There is so much distraction going on right now that for those people that are awake and aware, you can see immediately that, and I'll tell you right now, it brings joy to my heart when I see all of this distraction, because it means that we are getting closer and closer to the time. And we are extremely close to the time. True.
Next up, the UK accused of pressuring the ICC over Netanyahu's case. The criminal court prosecutor has claimed the UK threatened to withdraw funding if the court pursued another arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The allegation raises concerns about political interference in international justice, as the ICC depends on member state funding to operate. Critics say such pressure undermines the court's independence and reinforces accusations of selective enforcement, whilst supporters argue that the ICC lacks jurisdiction over Israel. The dispute highlights the growing tension between international law and geopolitical power.
Well, this is all part of the exposure. The International Criminal Court should be able to hold everyone accountable. But of course, Israel holds the purse strings. So Israel says, like it does with nuclear weapons, it says it doesn't apply to us. The only country in the world it doesn't apply to us. So the only way to stop that happening is to remove fiat currency. And that is exactly what's happening. Because without fiat currency, they have nothing. So as we move into our new financial system, they lose control completely. My final story of the day is just a bit of fun, really. Greenberg, Steinberg, Goldberg, Iceberg. At least we know who sunk the Titanic now. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Noble Gold. Real assets. Real value. Your wealth protected.